the first truck of the new China. Before 1949, China rode on foreign wheels, from American vehicles to Soviet ones. Among them were rare and unusual machines, and all of them were imported. With the proclamation of the People's Republic of China, a new era began. Mao Zedong visited the Soviet Union. The two sides signed a treaty of friendship and mutual assistance. The USSR helped build China's first automobile plant, provided technology, and trained engineers. The site for the plant was chosen in the city of Changchun, in the northeast of the country. Its code name was Project 652. On July 15, 1953, the foundation-laying ceremony took place. The first truck of the new China received the proud name Jiefang Liberation. It perfectly reflected the spirit and pathos of the era. The inscription on the logo was proposed by Mao Zedong himself. The model was a copy of the Soviet truck. Only the very best were accepted into driver training courses. Moral qualities were also taken into account. The profession was considered responsible and prestigious. In July 1956, the first truck rolled off the assembly line. The very idea of an assembly line was unheard of innovation for China. One of the plant's leading engineers takes the wheel, a turn of the ignition key and a double press of the starter. This was a mandatory skill for drivers of that time. The first trip beyond the factory gates. The event was perceived as a celebration. The first 12 vehicles were decorated with flowers. The convoy slowly moved through the city streets. People lined up in rows to see these remarkable machines, which seemed like a modern miracle and a symbol of a new life, without hunger and fear. Some wanted to touch them with their hands. This was made in our country. We will learn everything. Only a few years would pass, and people's minds would be captured by an even more incredible dream: space. She now chose to follow the path of copying Soviet designs. In the West, this strategy was met with a smile of skepticism, but the method proved effective. The Soviet springboard launched the country toward the heights it has reached today. In the designation CA-10, the letter C stood for China, the letter A meant automobile, and 10 was a factory project number. There was also an all-wheel drive version. The truck had a gasoline engine producing 90 horsepower and a 5-speed manual gearbox. Maximum speed was 40 miles per hour. Fuel consumption 8 miles per gallon. A very distinctive silhouette, rounded, with smooth lines. The steering wheel had no power assist. The gearbox had no synchronizers. The cab interior was generally Spartan. The windshield panels could be lifted for ventilation. 5 round gouges were mounted on the dashboard. The starter, headlights, and horn were controlled by pedals. The hood opened from both sides, the panels lifting upward. Older drivers remember turning the hand crank starter, manually pumping fuel, and reversing while leaning out through a half-open door. For long trips, they carried spare gaskets, cylinder heads, axle shafts, and many other spare parts. The driver was half mechanic. Repairs were done on road. Drivers of that era used to joke that you could fix almost anything with duct tape, a pair of pliers, and a good swear word. In addition to complete trucks, the company also supplied bare truck frame. They were later converted into fuel tankers, fire engines, mobile cranes, and many other special vehicles. In an era of material shortages and economic backwardness, this truck became the backbone of the country's transport industry. It reached almost every corner of China and made a huge contribution to industry, agriculture, and defense. In July 1986, production of the second generation, the CA-141, finally began, and thousands of kilometers away, the Soviet Union was already moving toward its collapse. The great country that had given birth to legendary machinery, remarkable achievements, and unfulfilled hopes. The plant celebrates its 70th anniversary, a CA-10 in the festive convoy. It was not beautiful, it was not fast, but it is machines like these that move history. The old Jiefang is a reminder of how dreams become metal, and metal becomes part of memory.